I love my intro. But what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I review the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you informed on what's going on. So that way I know a lot of you out there are busy, your daily life. So I like to just provide you with the information, what's going on, because you don't have time to scroll around through all the news articles, see all these technical analysis pieces, and it's well, what do I really want to listen to? So I try to pull at least the latest articles, like what's going on. There's an update going on with this crypto project here. This bank is doing this right now. Looks like the government's going through with a full Bitcoin reserve ETF. So I cover important big news articles like that. But what is going on with Bitcoin right now? We just touched 118. So we are now under 119,000. Oh no, it's over, guys. I think Bitcoin's done. We reached the top. If anything, you want to buy right now, buy the dips when they come around, because Bitcoin's just going to keep going. There's articles now coming up really talking about, is the 4-year cycle over? Because if we had a normal cycle, it's been at least 400 days. No, not 400 days. It's been at least 200 days. I think the moving cycle is the peak is around the 400-day mark, and the last Bitcoin halving event we just had was back in April. So we haven't reach 400. So we will see what goes on. But with all this adoption going on, we're hearing the word about even Morgan Stanley to allow all their clients now to invest in Bitcoin and crypto, because at first banks would stop you. They didn't like you getting involved with it. We don't want you to do this, but on the back end, they're secretly buying it. So this is huge news. Because at first it was just their wealthy clients. Only the ones with the big money, the big bags can get involved with this. But you little guys, no. So this is a huge change with institutions and banks that's getting involved, more people go in. So that was one big news article. And I have a bunch of other ones, Luxembourg is the sovereign wealth fund invests in Bitcoin. So that's going to be our first article we have for you. But you're probably wondering what this giant big square thing is back here. What is this? Oh, this is actually a stationary Starlink. So yeah, this is Elon Musk's Starlink internet thing. Bitcoin Ben, he got it for his RV, but the funniest thing was I just want the biggest one, the most expensive one. This is Bitcoin Ben. It's hilarious. And then Nathan Kirby, he was going Ben, is this a mobile one? Can you use this moving? Eventually he's crap, it's useless. Can't use this anymore, because he was just planning on sticking this thing on top of the RV. It's not for that purpose of that. So that was pretty fun. So this is just chilling out here right now. We had a crypto meetup last night, talked about risk reward, which was a great discussion between me and Nathan. So yeah, you can watch that on our BBTV channel. But let's continue on with the news. I just wanted to showcase Axis is hanging out back there. But yeah, so let's go through these news articles and just hear what's going on in the crypto space right now. So again, first up is Luxembourg Sovereign Wealth Fund invests in Bitcoin. So Luxembourg Sovereign Wealth Fund has allocated approximately $8 million to Bitcoin ETFs, making it the first Eurozone country to do so. So again, guys, adoption is here more than ever. We never experienced this. So Luxembourg has converted a small portion of its holdings into Bitcoin ETF shares. The nation's Minister of Finance, Gilles Roth, revealed on Wednesday that this makes Luxembourg the first country in Europe to invest in Bitcoin via exchange-traded products. So they're not directly holding on to Bitcoin. They're doing an ETF. So they're getting exposure, but they're not actually physically holding on to it. When they actually have it in their own self-custody wallet, then let's talk. That's an article I want to hear about. But this is just the start for them. They're dipping their toes into the market space. Let's see how it is. And then they may eventually want to switch to self-custody. But the FSIL, or Luxembourg's Intergenerational Sovereign Wealth Fund, when it translated from French, reported last month that it holds its $811 million portfolio as 57% bonds, 40% in equities, and 3% cash. So a 1% allocation of Bitcoin ETFs amounts to roughly $8 million. Now, some might argue that we're committing too little too late. Others will point out the volatility and speculative nature of the investment. Bob Kiefer, Luxembourg's director of the Treasury, said in a post on LinkedIn that yet, given that the FSIL's particular profile and mission, the fund management board concluded that a 1% allocation strikes the right balance, while sending a clear message about Bitcoin's long-term potential. Now, as of July 2025, policy change foreshadowed that the buy would happen. In a September bulletin, the fund said it would be rebalancing its portfolio to make room for a 1% allocation to Bitcoin, 4% into real estate, and 10% into private equity by reducing its exposure to stocks and bonds under an alternative asset umbrella. Now, the FSIL was established in 2014 to build a reserve for future generations and has up until recently invested conservatively in the investment grade bonds and index equities. Now, with this allocation, Luxembourg joins a growing list of sovereign or quasi sovereign institutions experimenting with Bitcoin, following El Salvador's direct purchases, where they did it smart, and a handful of US state investments that have taken a smaller position. Now, Luxembourg is the first European country to actually buy Bitcoin-based securities, but it's not the only one that's interested. In January, Sashia expressed interest in BTC, but was swiftly rebuffed by European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde. Now, and in 2024, after Germany sold off billions worth of seized Bitcoin, a politician criticized the move, saying that the country should add Bitcoin to its treasury. And I remember that. They were selling when it was at $56,000. And even though we're experiencing this little dip right here, we're at 118, they sold, again, 56,000 was that price when Germany sold their billions of seized Bitcoin. So they reached out on double-digit gains if they just held it for this long run. And yeah, there were so many arguments going on that they should have just kept holding on to it and kept adding more to it, but they didn't listen. They did what they wanted to do, and that's what everyone has the choice to do in cryptocurrency, not just governments or institutions anymore where they can control it all. Even you as an individual are your own bank, and you can have the free choice. If I want to sell it, go for it. My opinion would probably be, no, why are you doing that? You shouldn't, but everyone has the free will to do all that. But that is what's going on in Luxembourg, being the first European, wealth funding management team to invest in some type of form of cryptocurrency, or Bitcoin especially. So pretty cool. Now let's move on to our next article, which the BCP becomes the first Peruvian bank to offer regulated crypto access. So there's, again, more banks around the world. That was European. Now let's go to South America in Peru, which is the other 50% of my DNA. But Peru's largest bank, BCP, launched a pilot crypto platform authorized by the national regulator that allows select clients to buy and hold Bitcoin, as well as USDC, the stablecoin. So Peru's banking regulator has authorized a pilot crypto platform, marking the country's first regulated foray into digital assets. Now, the project, dubbed Crypto Cocos, will allow select clients of Banco de Crédito del Peru, BCP, to buy and hold Bitcoin and USDC under BitGo's custody. So it's not the bank going to be holding on to it. So it's cool that banks and institutions are now allowing their clients to get onboarded, purchase it, no longer like stopping it, going, oh, we don't like you to do it, so you can't buy from that exchange over there. But they're getting more involved. But the biggest thing when banks are actually fully backed banks by Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and here at the Crypto Club, or not the Crypto Club, part of our umbrella corporation, everything, we have the private key capital. If you want to know more information, go to bitcoinben.io. But we're in the running to be the first bank actually to be fully Bitcoin backed, I think, in the world. Like there's one other like a competitor out there in El Salvador, another bank, who says they're probably going to roll out their digital wallet and Bitcoin credit for like by December, end of the year, before 2026 begins. El Salvador doesn't plan on rolling theirs out until like sometime next year. But we're planning on doing it at least by November. I think November. So like we're like, if we can do this, everything's gonna work. Our coders are going nonstop every day. But if we can get this out, we will be the first fully backed Bitcoin bank. So all these banks right now in this news articles that we're covering is like, it's awesome that they're allowing their clients to do it. But once you can have it, we're going to be so ahead of these guys. They're going to be trying to copy what we do, but they won't know how to. So yeah, so this is cool that they are allowing their customers to client. But I just wanted to mention our credit union that we got out there. But to participate in the pilot, users must register, prove a minimum banking history with BCP, and complete an investment risk assessment before purchasing, according to Thursday's announcement. Now, approved users will be able to buy and sell Bitcoin and USDC within a closed loop. Now, meaning all transactions occur exclusively on the platform, and this setup prevents transfers to external wallets and ensures that traceability and compliance with anti-money laundering and counterterrorism financing regulations, the company said. Oh, so that's kind of lame. So are they saying that you can't move it to your own self-custody wallet after you buy it? So they got to keep it internally? I've come across a couple platforms in my early days of crypto where it's like, okay, I bought crypto. Sweet, this is awesome. Wait, I can't transfer it to my own wallet? So yeah, so it looks like they're going to be still trying to be completely centralized and control this. So I'm not sure how many people will most people are probably just trying to do workarounds to be able to get their crypto in their own custody, because that's the most important thing when it comes to crypto. But this move marks the first time a regulated Peruvian bank has been authorized to offer customers access to digital assets. Now, BCP said that the bank is the country's largest and oldest financial institution, founded in 1889, managing about $52 billion in assets as of December 2024. Now, BitGo is a US-based digital asset infrastructure company founded in 2013, offering crypto custody, wallets, and trading, among other services, to its institutional clients worldwide. Now let's go over the evolution of crypto in Peru. I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee first. Liquid oil or liquid gold, that's what I call coffee. But there's, no, that's an advertisement. But Peru permits the use of digital assets, but crypto activity remains in a legal gray area due to fragmented regulation. Yet there has been a push from crypto fintech companies in recent years. One is Argentina-based Lemon Cash, which has operated in Peru since August 2024 under a hybrid model. The company has a licensed partner authorized by the SBS to issue electronic money for transfers in Peruvian soles, or soles. Now, at the same time, its crypto exchange runs under an El Salvador license that allows digital asset trading and custody. Now, since its launch in Peru, Lemon Cash has attracted 1 million users and has issued over 150,000 Visa cards. On Wednesday, the company announced a $20 million Series B funding round led by U.S. funds F Prime and Parify to expand to other Latin American countries. Now, Federico Biskupovic, chief operating officer at Lemon Cash, told Cointelegraph that expanding crypto adoption in Peru will require more competition to improve user experiences and give people more options to choose from, alongside stronger efforts to build trust in the market. Now, despite the slow regulatory progress, Peru's central banks and the government do appear to be warming up to digital assets. In 2024, the Central Reserve Bank of Peru launched a digital currency in collaboration with Bitel, letting users transact with digital soles to promote financial inclusion in rural communities. And then in September of 2025, Cointelegraph and Español reported that Peru plans to launch a pilot digital voting program in partnership with digital identity startups Stamping.io and integrating blockchain technology into the voting process ahead of the April 12, 2026 national elections. Now, that would be huge and amazing to see. Like, if it works out, that just lets the rest of the world, it makes everything more just more trustable. Again, we've seen many times in politics and voting systems, yeah, sometimes the other side cheats. We cannot not lie that doesn't happen sometimes. But this makes everything more secure and transparent by just being put on a blockchain. It's immutable. Once data gets inserted into the chain, it cannot be tampered with or chained over. So that is huge. So I want to see how this goes in the next election. I'll definitely keep you guys informed on it. Because again, it's just like a blueprint. Once you have it down, you can mimic it everywhere. So it could potentially be a blueprint for the rest of the world if it plays out right. But who knows? Maybe someone may want to use a different chain than these guys. So pretty big stuff happening in Peru right now, which is awesome. I still need to go down there one of these days. Again, like I said, it's 50% of my DNA. I'm Peruvian, Croatian, and Italian. I've pretty much gone to Croatia and Italy, but Peru is still one I need to go to. So there's still lots of traveling. I want to see this world, experience all the experiences this life has to offer. But yeah, so way to go, Peru, on just offering really crypto access. But again, switch up your rolling and rolls on just let people move crypto to their own wallets. That will make this news even so much better, because right now it's still just keeping it completely centralized, and I don't like that. But that's our Peru news for you with their bank. Now let's move over to some other altcoin news and the SWIFT system, and as well as their challenge with Ripple, because at first Ripple's main thing was they're going to take over the SWIFT system, and everything. But now we got word that SWIFT is coming up with their own blockchain. So instead of just taking over, looks like there's some competition going on. So how is this going to play out? Well, let's find out. So can Swift's blockchain match Ripple Technologies' edge and explore the key challenges it faces and its potential impact on global payments? And this isn't just about the XRP and everything too. XRP's got some bullish news. I believe I did see something on their meeting with Luxembourg Sovereign Wealth Fund for investment opportunities or using their tech. So again, there is some bullish partnerships going on with XRP. So I'm not just denying that. They're still working and doing a bunch of stuff. But just that narrative where they're going to take over the SWIFT system, it's I don't think that's going to happen. And again, I never even thought all crypto is just going to be one leads all. I think we're going to live in a society where we have options. So you go to the grocery store Instead of just seeing debit or credit, you may see debit, credit, Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, whatever, even the stable coin. So like I feel we'll have options, and it's just not going to dominate and take all this like market cap and value of all these other currencies out there. So that's just my thoughts on that. But let's go through this article to hear about the Swift blockchain and Ripple and what's going on. So can Swift's blockchain match Ripple's technology edge? Let's explore the challenges it faces and its potential impact on global payments. So cross-border payments move trillions of dollars each year, and two names dominate. The long-established SWIFT, which is the Society for Worldwide Interfinancial Telecommunications, and Ripple, a new player built around blockchain technology. Now, SWIFT runs on a massive global network but remains slow, while Ripple uses its XRP token for near-instant settlements over time. But Ripple has built its technology and reputation as a faster, more efficient alternative to SWIFT's older, costlier system. But Swift is no longer playing defense. It is developing a shared ledger with consensus, aiming to compete directly with Ripple. Now, this article looks at how Swift's system works, its blockchain plans, and the challenges it still needs to overcome. So first up, we need to understand the SWIFT system. So the messaging system behind international money transfers. Now, SWIFT sits at the core of global banking communication. It doesn't move funds itself, but provides a secure, standardized messaging network that lets banks and payment providers exchange instructions for cross-border transactions. Now, when a customer sends money overseas, their bank uses the SWIFT network to send and secure payment messages to recipient banks. Now, the message includes details such as the account numbers, amounts, and reference codes. And each bank has a unique SWIFT/bank identifier code, which is the BIC, that ensures the message reaches the right destination. Now, SWIFT serves as a trusted intermediary for global finance, offering encrypted, authenticated, and reliable messaging across 200 plus countries. And by standardizing communication, it reduces errors, accelerates settlements, and supports compliance. It has been the backbone of international money transfers for decades. Now, XRP's diverse impact, shortening payments, powering loyalty, and enabling DeFi. So international payments via XRP can reduce or eliminate pre-funding, accelerate settlements, and cut costs. The SBI remit in Japan uses XRP for remittances to the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Similarly, the PYYPL has integrated XRPs via Ripple's on-demand liquidity for remittances between parts of Africa and Asia, targeting unbanked users. Now, beyond just payments, XRP is being integrated into travel and loyalty services. For example, Weebus/Wetor plans to use XRP backed by a proposed 300 million reserve to support blockchain-based vouchers and loyalty points for Air China's Phoenix Miles members. And these members would, in the future, be able to use XRP for overseas services like airport transfers and premium rides. Now, institutions now increasingly view XRP as a key operational and treasury asset. SBI Holdings, for instance, not only invests in Ripple, but also integrates XRP in its subsidiaries, the SIB Remit, SBI VC Trade, and it maintains substantial XRP reserves. Now, here is a tweet from John Squire. Breaking, you can now earn XRP with your credit card in Japan, thanks to a new partnership with the SBI Atlas. Cardholders can convert reward points in XRP, BTC, Ethereum. This is real-world adoption and not speculation. And that's not just the only card out there. Even Gemini came out with an XRP credit card. It first had that orange Bitcoin credit card, which I have that one. I like that hard metal card, earn Bitcoin back with your purchases. But they also just recently came out with an XRP one as well. So you can earn XRP on your everyday purchases because the traditional credit cards are, get cash back. It's like, why do I want cash? That's a dying system. So getting crypto back is pretty cool. So XRP has many ways for you to earn it as well. But the XRP ledger is a fast, low-cost blockchain and used for cross-border payments and tokenized assets in the decentralized financial projects. It relies on consensus protocol rather than mining, which reduces energy, and it uses an operational cost compared with a proof-of-work network. Now, Swift's blockchain project and architecture ambition. Swift's blockchain initiative is being designed for interoperability between public and private chains and for handling regulated stablecoins and tokenized assets, positioning it as a versatile infrastructure for the future. Now, a key feature of Swift's blockchain project is a real-time cross-border payment. The system is designed to enhance existing digital infrastructure rather than replacing it entirely. So this approach allows financial institutions to integrate it more easily with their current systems, reducing one of the biggest barriers to adoption. And that is true. It's like trying to get someone on board. It's like when we switched over from cash to checks to debit cards, and now we got crypto. So it's kind of like smart to do it this way instead of trying like that barrier. Oh, I got to adopt this crypto wallet technology. How does that work and everything? So they're kind of implementing it into like their current systems. That way it's an easy onboarding process. So that's pretty smart on them. But the adopting blockchain, SWIFT aims to maintain its central role in global payments as stablecoins and networks like XRP gain traction. The project is intended to keep banks within the SWIFT ecosystem by modernizing its infrastructure and strengthening its position at the core of international finance. Now, how is Swift's blockchain? How could it undercut Ripple's edge? Well, Swift's blockchain projects build on its long-lasting dominance in the global banking and settlements. Its network already connects thousands of banks and financial institutions worldwide, giving it a scale that Ripple may find hard to match. Now, Ripple's ODL system, which uses the XRP token as a bridge currency, still offers faster and cheaper cross-border payments for Swift, and the main challenge is just improving liquidity to reach the same level of efficiency as Ripple's ODL model is. Now, the network effects will also play a big role. Since most institutions are already linked to Swift, banks might find it easier to adopt its new shared ledger instead of moving over to a Ripple system. So for Ripple, convincing financial institutions to switch networks remains a major challenge for them. Now, Swift's neutral stance on tokens and settlement methods could also help it maintain an advantage over Ripple. Now, while Ripple's model relies on XRP as a bridge asset, Swift's upcoming ledger is designed to support a wider range of regulated tokens, including stablecoins and tokenized assets. This flexibility could weaken XRP's dominance in the cross-border settlements, especially if banks move toward multi-asset payment systems. Now, challenges confronting Swift, so there's challenges on both sides. Swift's blockchain project still faces hurdles that could slow its rollout. One of the biggest challenges is connecting the new system with the existing banking infrastructure, while keeping everything technically compatible. And since Swift runs a long-established global messaging network already, it's making it work smoothly with a distributed ledger without disrupting the current services will be a very complex task to handle, but we'll see if they can handle it. Now, another significant challenge is the regulatory compliance across jurisdictions. So varying rules on digital assets and stablecoins and tokenization can complicate cross-border payments or deployment. Additionally, many financial institutions are cautious. They may hesitate to not adopt new infrastructure unless the advantages are clear and risks are mitigated. I think that kind of, that challenge is kind of going away, because again, like we're getting news every day and like, oh, this bank's allowing this to happen now, this is doing this. I think the more concern is just the regulations in other countries is like that's going to be a big challenge for them to get through. But again, as more adoption comes through, more regulations will happen, and this may just make it easier for them. But Swift also faces this tough competition from Ripple's long-standing partnership and focus on real-time settlements. So unless Swift can show clear and measurable advantages, its blockchain project may be seen as a supporting effort instead of a leading solution. Now, will Swift's blockchain challenge or complement Ripple? Well, let's find out. So looking ahead, Swift's blockchain ledger could reshape global payments in two ways. It might coexist with Ripple, keeping its dominant position in regulated banking. Ripple, meanwhile, may continue to focus on liquidity and settlement efficiency in emerging markets. And then another possibility is that Swift uses its massive network to gradually overtake Ripple, reducing the industry's reliance on proprietary tokens. So the outcome of this rivalry, why can I not say that word? It's like my speech impediment as a kid keeps coming in and out. I couldn't say the R's, Y's, or L's. It took me till sixth grade to finally be able to say that. So this outcome of their rivalry will shape the future of cross-border payments. Now, Ripple response will be crucial. This competition between the two could spark faster innovation and lead to more real-world applications through its partnerships with fintechs and regional banks. And ultimately, the deciding factor won't just be the better technology. Other elements such as the network momentum, institutional confidence, and alignment with a broader goal of global finance will also play a major role. So that's what's going on with Swift and XRP/Ripple. So it's like, yeah, Swift's coming out with their own blockchain. Ripple's been around a lot. Swift has a bigger networking system than they do in connection with banks. Ripple's been making, over the years in my time, I've been seeing Ripple make tons of partnerships with banks institutions, like over 100, 200 plus country or banks out there they have partnerships with. So they are growing. So again, it's just, we got to see how this plays out. Like, again, I agreed with them. Like, we, in one of those possibilities, they may just work together. Swift will still hold its dominance. Ripple's just there in the background. Like I said, like, we're going to a system where it's just not just one takes all. We're going to have options to choose from. I want to use Swift. I want to use my debit card. I want to use credit. I want to use Bitcoin. I want to use USDT. Like, we will have options. Like, that's what I think. That's how I see our future really leading. But yeah, so that's Ripple and Swift. So let's take a quick commercial break. Let's take a look at the comments. Manny, what is up, my brother? Thank you for being here today. But yeah, so let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back after these messages.
For years, banks promised innovation, but they gave us fees and friction and fine prints. Today, all that changes. Introducing Private Key Bank from Bitcoin Band's Crypto Club, the world's first Bitcoin native credit union. Rebuilt from the ground up in the heart of El Salvador, a place where your Bitcoin isn't just stored, it grows. Earn 4% interest paid in Bitcoin, compounded, secured, and accessible. No middlemen, no hidden games, just your money working for you. Send funds across borders instantly, without SWIFT codes, without currency conversions. Pay anyone, anywhere, with a tap of a finger. This isn't banking as usual. This is freedom, beautifully engineered. The future of finance is finally here.
And we are back. And yes, that is our private key capital. It's in El Salvador, and it should be rolling out very, very soon for us to be the first Bitcoin-backed bank. If you want more information, go to bitcoinbend.io or give us a call at 941-413-8080. And yeah, so let's continue on with the news. I'm trying to browse through X, see if there's any most recent posts happening during the show, and still nothing yet. I always like to confirm if anything's real, because I'm seeing like documenting Sailor. This isn't Sailor's actual post, so it's like, is this true or not? Russian Central Bank just announced it will ease restrictions on banks working with Bitcoin. We reached the point we need to legalize crypto investments. So I would need to verify that, see if that's true. If it is, awesome, totally bullish. But again, I don't really like to pull the sources from either Bitcoin Magazine, Cointelegraph, or sources I truly know about, where it's like, okay, I trust this. Even like Watch Guru, I like these guys too. I'll give them a follow on X. Just in 200 million liquidated from cryptocurrency market in the past 15 minutes. Oh no. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the full market cap. Can we go this down to the 30-day? No, it only shows us the 30-day breakdown. So, oh no, guys, Bitcoin and crypto's over. Better not buy it. False. When we have dips, you buy, because again, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. Everyone's on board with it, so just get it while you still can, because there's not going to be any more of those tokens. But let's continue on with the news. Let's see. We have some more altcoin news for you. Privacy coins are a big narrative coming around the corner. We've had AI, we had gaming, we had memes, but now the privacy is coming into play. And one of those tokens, Monero, they were like the top privacy coin out there, releases the Fluorine Fermi. It's an update to fight spy nodes. So let's hear about this. So Monero's Fluorine Fermi update enhances privacy by fighting nodes that try to link user IP addresses to their transactions. So Privacy Blockchain Monero has rolled out a new client update to provide users with greater security against spy nodes on the network. Now, the Fluorine Fermi software update was announced via X on Thursday, with the team stating that it is a highly recommended release. So the overview is this is the V0.18.4.3 release of the Monero software. This is a highly recommended release that enhances protection against spy nodes. So the term spy nodes is part of the vernacular used in the Monero community. It refers to malicious nodes, groups of nodes, or botnets that have the potential to calculate and match IP addresses to transactions conducted on the network. Now, the changes focus on using an improved peer selection algorithm that avoids connecting to large subnets of the IP addresses favored by spy nodes. Now, with users instead pushed to connect to what are deemed safer nodes, the update also includes some general reliability and stability fixes. And now, Monero's privacy threats. The fluorine fermite provides another tool for users to protect their privacy. Given that spy nodes threaten the privacy of users in contrast to the main aim of the project, the community has worked hard to find workarounds, establish safety practices, promote self-node operations, and utilize software to provide a shield against malicious nodes on Monero. Now, one such idea proposed by Monero's research lab in late 2024 is to enable node operators to create a ban list of all IP addresses suspected of being spy nodes, thereby avoiding connections to them. However, this is not seen as foolproof or fully sustainable tactic, as malicious node operators could just go on and set up a new spy IP address if they need to. Now, another tool the community promotes is the use of a Dandelion++ software designed to prevent malicious actors from linking IP addresses to transactions. Now, Monero's privacy issues were in part brought into the spotlight via a leaked chain analysis video that appeared in September of 2024. Cointelegraph was supplied with the video by an anonymous source, which claimed that chain analysis was able to track transactions back in 2021 via its own malicious Monero node out there. So this was brought into light at least 2 years ago, pretty much now. Like we're going into 2026, just around the corner. But so this is why the fluorine fermite update is put in through, so that way we know, like, again, that's why we can keep our crypto transactions private, specifically on the Monero chain and with the Monero coin. So if you have Monero in a crypto wallet, I'm not sure which wallet holds Monero. I do not have any of this privacy coin out there. I may when the bull run starts hitting as I move along narratives. But no, so if there's an update for you, I would do it. But again, my always recommendation is when there are updates, give it a week before you do it. See if there's any malicious code or links in it. So that way you're hearing it in the news first. It's like something will come up, like an update. Whoever did this update, there was a wallet drainer code in there. And then the crypts are going. So updates are necessary. We need them, but at least give it a week just to see and make sure that it's running smoothly. We didn't hear any negative news story or bad things that happen. So just a little tip on that. But no, it's a pretty cool way to go, Monero, for keeping private. Love it. Now let's talk about stablecoin Tether. They're eyeing Vietnam partnership to grow crypto's market. So Tether plans to partner with Vietnam to develop its crypto market as a stablecoin demand and gold-backed digital asset to gain global momentum. So Tether is growing crazy. I believe they moved their headquarters over to El Salvador because, again, El Salvador was a crypto-friendly country, like really bringing in people because, again, the rest of the world at the time wasn't accepting crypto or they were really against it. So there was a lot of incentive there. But Tether, the company behind the world's largest stablecoin, USDT, is expanding its global footprint. The firm aims to partner with Vietnamese entities to develop the country's emerging crypto asset market. This move comes after Vietnam gave the green light to a 5-year trial program that will test and regulate crypto trading platforms. Now, Marco Del Lago, Vice President of Global Expansion and Strategic Partnerships at Tether, highlighted Vietnam's potential during a meeting with Deputy Prime Minister Ho Duc Phuc. Now, he said that the country is an important and promising market for digital asset expansion. He also said that Tether is ready to share its experience in building clear rules and financial systems that can attract investors and help boost Vietnam's economy. Now, Vietnam's strategic crypto plan, we covered this in a previous article, or a previous news video, but the Vietnamese government recently rolled out a Resolution 5, which allows up to 5 licensed crypto exchanges to run on trial basis. The goal is to gather real-world experience before creating official laws for the crypto market. Now, the Deputy Prime Minister, Phuc, stressed that the need for careful regulation, crypto asset trading, is a very new issue with potential risks, he said. This will be a professional playground for investors and people, and at the same time, a channel to attract financial resources. Now, he added that Vietnam will continue cooperating with large, reputable, and highly reliable technology groups to ensure a safe and transparent trading environment. Now, Tether's expanding footprint. Tether is also growing quickly around the world. Recently, Aptos announced that Kraken now supports USDT on its blockchain with its launch in October of 2024. The amount of USDT on the Aptos network has skyrocketed by 8 times now, and it's accounting for nearly 75% of all stablecoins available on their network. Additionally, Tether Gold has surpassed a market value of over $1.5 billion, as reported by the Katusa research team. Now, the gold-backed token has jumped from about $650 million in 2024, showing that more investors are turning to digital asset-backed real-world value like gold. And here is that chart from Katusa Research. Look out, Tether Gold has now passed $1.5 billion. Look at that jump up. That is a straight line right there. But Tether's push into Vietnam shows stablecoins are eyeing real growth as the country moves from watching crypto to actually building it. So this is Tether's expansion news. Always going great there. Again, like, the world is adopting blockchain technology, right? That's not Bitcoin, XRP, stablecoins out there. They're adopting this technology because they have to. It's just our next step in just human and digital evolution right now. It's like we have this technology. Technology's been booming since we got the fire, and like it's just been going faster and faster since then. So way to go, Tether, on just expanding your reach and just again expanding global adoption out there as well. Now, in our final article, it looks like there was a data breach on this website called shuffle.com. Now, I don't use this or even know what it is, but we want to be prone to what's happening out there. So if you do use this website, be aware there might be some phishing emails heading your way. But shuffle.com confirms a data breach through a third-party provider, FastTrack. So the online gaming platform shuffle.com has alerted its customers to a data breach after one of its key partners, FastTrack, suffered a security incident that exposed user information. In an email sent out this morning, Shuffle said an unauthorized party had gained access to FastTrack's internal system and stolen customer data. The information taken includes names, email addresses, home addresses, and even transaction and betting history. Now, Shuffle stressed that the account passwords, login details, and player funds were not affected since these were never stored with FastTrack. Still, the company urged players to remain on guard for phishing attempts and to make sure two-factor authentication is enabled on all of their accounts. Now, FastTrack has told Shuffle that the breach has been contained and that there is no ongoing risk to users. Shuffle, however, is continuing its discussion with its provider to better understand how this breach occurred and what impact it may ultimately have. And this is what they said: "We remain committed to security and safety and our users, and we are thoroughly disappointed that this has occurred." Of course they are. Now, the company told their customers that data security has become a growing concern across the online gambling sector, where operators often rely on multiple third-party providers for marketing analytics and player engagement tools. Now, incidents like this underline the potential risks when sensitive player data is shared beyond just operator itself. So for now, Shuffle says accounts are safe, but the message to customers is clear: stay alert and take precautions. So again, if you use that platform, your funds on this account is good and everything, but again, your user data was exposed. So email addresses, home address. So you may be getting a letter in the mail just saying, uh-oh, your shuffle.com account is exposed. Or maybe they may be sending you an email saying, uh-oh, Coinbase account. Like, you may not even have a Coinbase account. This is what phishing attacks do. They just throw something out there. They cast a line and hope to reel in somebody to get some more information or login information. So just be careful out there if you are a shuffle.com user, and just always be on alert for phishing emails. Just don't even bother answering them. There's no point in doing that. But that is it for all the news I have for you today. Woo, it's Friday. It's going to be an awesome weekend, guys. What's going on today? I don't know. We no longer have poker here on Friday night, so it's going to be a fun night. Maybe I'll go to the gym or maybe I'll do something else, but we'll find out. But let's see. Our fear and greed index right now is at a 54, so people are still neutral, so this didn't dip too much. Bitcoin's currently at $119,000 right now. Ethereum's at 41. And what's the rest of the market kind of look like? Let's go to Crypto Bubbles. Let's take a look at the hour chart. Our chart, everything is in red. So, oh wait, never mind. We just switched over. Look how fast changes can occur. So in the hour chart, we're in the green. So maybe we're making our leg up. That was just a low dip. People are buying, so everything's going great now. But everybody, hope everyone has an awesome weekend. I will see you again on Monday, or for all of our club members out there, the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, I will see you tomorrow for our new member orientation, and we'll go over all of our programs and have a little education afterwards. So everyone, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later. Peace.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.